Hey everybody, welcome back to Better Know a Highway, a series where we look at the interstates of America, one road at a time. In this episode, we're heading to the upper Midwest to explore a medium-length interstate that travels through some wide-open territory, as well as running alongside a few major rivers. Interstate 29. And real quick before we get started, just wanted to remind you to please hit that like button and subscribe to this channel. Always appreciate that. Make sure to check out the VRT Discord, link in the description below, and if you want to support this channel, you can join as a member for just $2.99 a month by clicking the join button below, and I definitely appreciate that. And with all that out of the way, let's get started. Interstate 29 is a north-south oriented highway in the Midwest and northern Midwest regions of the U.S. It runs for a total of 750 miles through 4 states. Beginning at the southern end, the first state that I-29 runs through is Missouri, where it traverses through its northwestern region, right along the state line for 128 miles. The southern terminus of I-29 is located at a complex junction with 2 major interstates, I-70 and I-35, within the city of Kansas City. The intersecting highways form a loop around the Central District, known locally as the Downtown Loop, and it's from here that 29 starts off to the north, with I-35 running concurrent with it in this initial stretch. The 2 highways head away from downtown KC, and a short distance later have a major crossing of the Missouri River. Then, once on the northern side, they head into the suburban neighborhoods and surrounding cities. After running for roughly 5 miles together, 29 and 35 split at a fork, with the former bearing to the west and heading in the northwestern direction. As it leaves the KC metro area, 29 soon passes and provides access to the city's major airport, as well as junctioning and running a short concurrency with the local beltway spur I-435 within the same area. The highway soon makes a sharp turn to a due north direction as it begins to parallel the aforementioned Missouri River just to its east. This type of feature is something I-29 will do with several rivers as well as state borders along its entire length. Now heading out into the rural lands of northwest Missouri, 29 passes several places of note, including the largest settlement in this area being the city of St. Joseph, where 29 makes a turn around its eastern side and has 2 junctions with a spur route I-229, which takes drivers directly to downtown right along the riverside. After a second junction with I-229, I-29 makes a turn to the northwest and back into vast rural farmland, passing smaller places such as Mound City and Rockport, as well as numerous little towns along the way. Eventually, 29 reaches the northern state line and quickly crosses into Iowa. I-29 cuts a path on the western edge of the Hawkeye State, staying close to the banks of the Missouri River for a total of 151 miles. Entering the state surrounded by the same rural farmland as earlier, 29 continues on a generally northern direction, having several junctions with routes, including US Route 34, that cross the nearby river to the west and head to towns in neighboring Nebraska. After passing smaller places, such as Percival and Glenwood, 29 reaches a new populated area as it begins to traverse the eastern suburbs of the city of Omaha, which lies across the state line to the west. This includes the city of Council Bluffs, which 29 approaches from the south, then reaches a junction with the major east-west running I-80, with both routes running concurrent to the west for a short distance. Just before reaching the Missouri River, 29 breaks back off to the north and continues wrapping around Council Bluffs, while 80 stays on the western path. The highway hugs the river closely as it heads north and eventually begins leaving the metro area and very quickly transitions back into rural farmlands. But before totally leaving the area, 29 has one last junction with a spur, I-680, which heads west towards the local major airport. Staying on its northern path, and parallel to the river just to its west, I-29 meanders through vast agricultural lands, some of the most fertile soil in the entire country, replenished by periodic floods that can affect the highway itself. After traveling for over 80 miles through this terrain, and passing a few towns of note, 29 reaches populated lands once again, as it enters the general vicinity of Sioux City. As it enters the area, 29 first passes the smaller city of Sergeant Bluff, as well as the local airport, followed closely by a junction with a very short spur, I-129, which heads west across the river to the vicinity of South Sioux Falls. Meanwhile, after this, 29 turns to a due west direction itself and approaches Sioux City, staying just to the south of the downtown core with a couple exits connecting to it. Staying in a western direction, 29 reaches suburban areas just next to the city and passes the local river confluence just to its north. Soon after, 29 crosses the Big Sioux River, not the Missouri River, to finally leave Iowa and enter its next state. Now across the river, I-29 traverses the eastern edge of South Dakota from south to north for 252 miles. Having entered the state at its southernmost region, 29 heads northwest and passes the suburban city of North Sioux Falls, and quickly heads into the endless farmlands and rolling hills of the state, a sight that will become very familiar to drivers on the route from this point forward. At a settlement known as Junction City, which is not much of a city, 29 turns to a dead straight due north direction, with the flat terrain allowing the highway to run unimpeded in this way. Cutting through nearly unpopulated lands, the only place of note in this stretch is the town of Beersford, as well as a few junctions with crossing routes. 47 miles of straight road later, and I-29 reaches its next area of note, the city of Sioux Falls, which is the largest city in all of South Dakota, thus making this stretch of highway crucial for the entire state. As it reaches the outer suburban neighborhoods, 29 has a junction with the local Beltway spur, I-229, and both routes head north, with 29 staying to the west and the city lying between the two highways. A short distance further, 29 has a junction with State Route 42, which gives drivers a direct link to the city court just to the east. And not long after this, 29 has a major junction with the longest interstate in the country, I-90, just to the northwest of the local city airport. Now heading away from the Sioux Falls area, 29 enters right back into the nearly endless fields and plains. Also of note is that the state line just to the east of this area does not follow a river, the only section of I-29 where that happens. More dead straight sections follow, with several jaunts to the east or west in between, all while passing smaller places such as Brookings and Watertown, after the latter of which, 29 continues due north and soon reaches the Lake Traverse area. Just to the east of I-29, two lakes lie within an ancient riverbed, with the nearby settlement of Browns Valley in between. The town straddles a continental divide where water flows in opposite directions on each side. This is significant because 29 once again begins to parallel a river after passing the lake, this one being the northern flowing Red River of the North. Not long after this area, 29 passes a few more small towns and soon reaches the northern border to leave the state. Much like the previous state, I-29 carves a path along the eastern edge of North Dakota, from the southern state line to the international border, for 217 miles. Immediately after crossing the border, 29 begins another dead straight section to the north, running through rural lands and passing in the vicinity of small towns within the area. Eventually, some small wiggles in the path of the highway signal its arrival to a new area of note, this one being the state's largest city, Fargo, and its surrounding settlements. As it arrives from the south, 29 makes a straight cut through the populated area, with downtown Fargo to the east on the riverbank. After a few exits, 29 has another junction with a major east-west running highway, this one being I-94. There is also another junction slightly further to the north with Business Route 94, which gives access to numerous commercial businesses in the area. After a turn to the northwest, and passing directly next to the nearby airport, 29 makes a quick transition back to rural farmland and heads out of the area. The highway then bends slightly to the west as it continues north, moving slightly further away from the banks of the Red River as well as the state line. 29 loops around several smaller settlements in this area, including places such as Argusville and Hillsboro. Then, making a slow turn back to a due north direction, the highway reaches the last significant city on its route, when it enters the Grand Forks vicinity. Staying to the west of the city proper, 29 has several exits in the region, including a significant one with US Route 2, which acts as one of the main thoroughfares through the nearby downtown area. Once again, a quick transition back to farmland takes place when 29 moves out of the Grand Forks area, leaving the city and traveling much closer to the Red River, now just to its east. Soon 29 enters the northeasternmost part of the state, and with one last dead straight section, taking drivers past more places, such as Drayton. The final stretch of I-29 has it meander to the west slightly, and eventually past the city of Pembina. Shortly after this, the highway reaches the US-Canadian border and the heavily trafficked border crossing station just over the line. The highway continues on after this into Manitoba as Provincial Route 75. However, I-29 terminates at the international border, thus ending its moderately impressive 750-mile-long run. And that will do it for this episode of Better Know a Highway. Really hope you enjoyed this one, as much as I enjoyed making it. Hey, before you go, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. Always appreciate that. Make sure to check out the VRT Discord channel. Link is down below, and I hope to see you there for discussions and announcements. And lastly, if you want to support this channel, you can do so by clicking on the Join button below to become a member today for just $2.99 a month. And I want to give a quick shout out to all my members, as shown here on this cool list. And hey, if you want to join these cool people and get on that cool list, just click the Join button below, and I definitely appreciate that. And that's going to do it for this episode. So, hey, make sure you enjoy the ride. And up next, Interstate 26. And I'll see you then.